Hi everyone. Something new today, hopefully, if it goes right. Midge and I, if that doesn't sound too ridiculous, have a new toy to play with. In that I bought a drone, and I'm hoping that we can add a few aerial shots to our videos. Not far from home, there's a site called the Brauncewell medieval village, and to be honest, all it is a grass field with a few cows in it. However, it was the site apparently of a medieval village which had a main street and some small alleys going off to the sides, and quite a few stone built houses. It was established in the 11th century. There's now no real tangible trace of it. As I say, it's very much a grass field with a few cows. But apparently in the really dry summer of 1975 it became apparent that there was something there, and there are aerial pictures of squares and oblongs on the ground which mark the positions of the remains of the foundations of the buildings. Well, because we've just come out of the driest May on record, I thought it might be fun to take the drone down there and get airborne, see if we can see any signs, because walking around the field there's nothing to see, just grass. So that's what we're up to today. Now, although it's only a couple of miles from home, it's quite a long walk to get into the village, which Midge is enjoying. So I won't ramble on for too much longer and spare you the sight of my ugly mug while we just walk along the path. Let's see if we can see old Midge. Come on. Here he comes. Good old Midge, my little wingman. Never far from the action. How are you, mate? Hey? I'm just hoping that he doesn't wander too far off the path, because there are quite a few almost dry ditches around here, which I happen to know from past experience are full of foul black mud. And as you know, being a springer, there's nothing old Midgie likes better than to get absolutely filthy and covered in stinking mud. Midge, are you going to be a good boy today and stay out of the mud? Eh? Midgie? What are the chances, do you reckon, mate? Slim to nil? He's looking around because he knows that there are lots of hares in these fields, but he's been extremely good at not chasing them. A couple of times he set off after them, and I've just called him with the whistle and he stopped and come straight back, which has really not only surprised me but pleased me no end. He's not a bad lad, actually. He's going to be my spotter today, to keep an eye on this drone whilst we're doing our filming. We've flown it a few times. I say we, I keep referring to we as if Midge is playing some major part in this. In fact, his only real actions in relation to the drone have been, the first couple of times I flew it, trying to catch it as it was taking off, and again as it was landing, and then chasing around underneath it the whole time as if it was something worth catching. But he seems to have given that up now. He's lost interest in that, and he's behaving himself much better. Anyway, we've got about a mile walk in front of us, and it's a very warm sunny day, so we will crack on, and we'll see you again when we get to the field. Okay, bye for now. In this aerial photograph, the green line coming in indicates the direction we walked into the field, getting to the corner now, and these green lines show two big trees which mark the eastern edge of the village site. The black circle marks the western edge at the corner of that barn. These blue lines show the rough directions of flight of our drone and also skirt the line of a stream which used to run through the centre of the village. That stream now has moved to the south. The orange dot is our helicopter takeoff pad. So here we are approaching the field, and those two big trees that you can see there in the centre of the picture now are the ones that I indicated in the overhead photograph. The long barn in front of us is the one which it was also shown in the photo. The right hand end of that barn is the other end of the village. So here we are now in the field, and I'm looking for a flat spot. That looks likely one there where I could place my little launch pad for the drone. There again are the two big trees. And looking across, there isn't really any sign of anything in the field which indicates the presence of foundations or any stonework. Just a few tracks made by the cows and one or two sort of cream coloured patches of deadish grass, but nothing very clear at all. So we've set up the pad and launching the drone. Off she goes. And I'll start by heading over towards those two big trees and then turn west and fly along the line of that former stream bed, which was also the centre of the village. It ran through the middle of the village, and we'll head towards the corner of that barn and vary the height, vary the angle of the camera and see if we can see anything. The village was established in 1086 and apparently it prospered for 200 years, but it started to fall into decline in the middle of the 14th century. By the beginning of the 18th century, only one family is recorded as having lived in the village. Apparently, there were still a few houses standing in the mid-19th century. But I suspect the stone from those was probably taken and used in building of farm buildings or for other purposes, much easier than quarrying it from scratch. that was fun. It'll be interesting to see what sort of pictures we got and whether we can actually see anything at all, because I did have a wander around in that field. I couldn't see anything on the ground there. So, will the drone reveal all? We tried some tricks with the drone on the way back, as by now you've hopefully seen, getting it to follow us. It's very good at that sort of thing. It'll fly along in parallel to you, and it'll also actually just follow behind you. I think there was one point where I was crossing a little bridge, and there were some trees or shrubs each side, and the drone decided it couldn't fit through there. It has obstacle sensing cameras on the front and rear, and I think it saw that the gap was too tight and decided, no, I'm just going to stay where I am, thank you very much. So it was at that point that I caught it by hand and put it away. I don't know if you'll be able to hear them through this fairly directional microphone, but the sky is alive with the sound of skylarks at the moment, all around us. It's lovely. And the skylarks and the lapwings are another reason I didn't want Midge to wander too far today, because I don't want him chasing birds in the fields, especially, you know, because they're all nesting at the moment. And a lot of hares about too, doing a bit of boxing and chasing, and that's something I don't really want Midge to get involved in. But today's been very good. Of course he did get in the mud, as I thought he might, but you can't deny him that, eh? Each to his own. Cools his paws down, I'm sure. Right, we shall leave you to it, and hope everyone's well. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do so. I hope we'll see you again soon. Okay, goodbye for now.